Hello, how are you today? This is Heena from Team TES, and I welcome you after a lovely weekend. I hope your weekend was good too, definitely filled with fun and English literature. Well, to continue our series, I am here starting with today's 5 question answers from our book of MCQs: What, When, Why, How. I have told you something very special about this book. It comes with explanations to all the answers to make your path to NET, SET, and the other exams easy. Okay? So today's first question is from late English Renaissance period. Here it is on your screen. Lucasta is a collection of poems composed by, your options are A. Herrick, B. Samuel Butler, C. Richard Lovelace, or D. Thomas Heywood. Lucasta. You know it. Yes, you do. The answer is option C, Richard Lovelace. Well, about Lovelace, he was an English cavalier poet of the 17th century. Now, who were the cavalier poets? The ones who supported the royalty, and during that time, King Charles too. Well, a bit about his collection of poems, Lucasta. Lucasta means lux casta, C-A-S-T-A, lux casta, which means pure spirit. So he dedicated this collection of poems to his lady love, Lucy Sacheverell, whom it is said about that she married someone else thinking that Richard Lovelace was dead. What a tragedy. Now let's move on to his poem, To Lucasta, Going to the Wars. It was written in the year 1640 and published in 1649. Since it's a lovely, simple poem, I thought I will put it here and we will understand it stanza by stanza. So let me read stanza number 1. Tell me not, sweet, I am unkind, that from the nunnery of thy chaste breast and quiet mind to war and arms I fly. Now, what does the speaker say here? The speaker, who is Lovelace himself, requests his lover to not think of him as cruel, since he is leaving her haven, her purity, her comfort for the cruelty of the war. So he is leaving her to go to war. Okay? Stanza number 2. True, a new mistress now I chase, the first foe in the field, and with a stronger faith embrace, a sword, a horse, a shield. Lovelace says that he has now chosen a new lover, from love of a woman to love of a war. And he has to pick up a sword. He has to ride on a horse. He has to take a shield to fight the enemy. Stanza number 3. Yet this inconstancy is such as thou too shalt adore. I could not love thee, dear, so much, loved I not honor more. In this stanza, he says that you too will love me more when you hear that I have gone to safeguard the land of my birth, my country, and my honor. If I am there to safeguard my country's honor, I will always be there to safeguard your honor as well, my love. And this is the end of the poem. Well, you know this, during that time, just like patent, all the writers had to get their works patented or licensed. Just like that, Lucasta was also licensed at the Stationers' Register in the year 1648. Lovelace, because of political reasons, had to go to prison. And in prison, he wrote Lucasta from Prison. And after his death, another set was published, which was called Lucasta Posthumous Poems. Right? Good enough? Can we move on to question number 2? Yes, we can. In which play does the women of Canterbury play a significant part? Your options are A. Murder in the Cathedral, B. St. John, C. The Lady is Not for Burning, and D. Countess Kathleen. A play by T.S. Eliot. Well, the answer is option A, Murder in the Cathedral. You know it, this is a poetic verse drama by T.S. Eliot in 2 parts, which was first performed in 1935. The action of the play occurs in the year 1170 from 2nd to 29th December. They have mentioned the dates also of the action of the play. Thomas Becket, who is the Archbishop of Canterbury, he is the hero and the protagonist of this play. Okay, now listen a little bit about the story. So Thomas Becket is away from England. He was in France for 7 years because of a power struggle with King Henry II. But now he has returned to England. Oh God. Now, chorus, as you know from the ancient Greek drama, chorus serves as a mediator between the play and the audience. And here, in Murder in the Cathedral, chorus is composed of women of Canterbury. That is the answer to the question. Read what I have written in the slide. The chorus originally fears the unknown act that their eyes are compelled to witness and begs Thomas to return to France and do not wish to stand on the doom of the then church. What act are they talking about? The act is the murder, the upcoming murder, okay, of Becket. Now, when the knights kill Becket, the chorus laments, clear the air, clear the sky, the land is foul, the water is foul, our breasts and ourselves defiled with blood. So they're angry. But at the conclusion of the play, the chorus gets enlightened to the fact that there is a higher power at work in this world other than politics. And then they start praising the wisdom of God. That is the play Murder in the Cathedral by T.S. Eliot. And we are done here with question number 2. Question number 3, American literature. Which American playwright's debut work is No Villain? Your options are A. Tennessee Williams, B. Eugene O'Neill, C. Harold Pinter, or D. Arthur Miller. No Villain, the first work of this playwright. Well, the answer is option D, Arthur Miller. Arthur Miller, you know, Arthur Asher Miller, was an American playwright. His lifespan was from 1915 to 2005. He wrote The Villain when he was only 20 years old in the year 1936, when he was studying at the University of Michigan. The reason behind writing this, play was to win an award money of $250 so that he could continue his college studies the following year. Now, what is No Villain about? It is a story of a strike at a garment industry which sets a son against his father. Okay, this family, it is the Simons, and they are Jewish immigrants who live in America in New York. They face disaster during the Great Depression of America. So the theme of the play is issues of labor and society in 1930s America, complicated intra-family relationships, and third, Marxism. Okay, and let me tell you in the words of Arthur Miller himself, he said about his play No Villain, quote, "My first attempt at a play, rather inevitably, had been about industrial action and a father and his 2 sons, the most autobiographical, dramatic work I would ever write." Quote closed. Done? Let's move on to question number 4. If you like this book, What, When, Why, How, you can order yours by calling TES. Okay? Let's move on. The novel Rich Like Us, set in New Delhi in the turbulent time between the 1930s and 70s, which follows the lives of Rose and Sonali, was written by, your options are A. Nayantara Sehgal, B. Upamanyu Chatterjee, C. Vikram Seth, or D. Anita Desai. Rich Like Us is written by, you got it right, Nayantara Sehgal. Sehgal is a member of the Nehru Gandhi family. How? She is the daughter of Jawaharlal Nehru's sister, Vijaya Lakshmi Pandit. And let me tell you, she received the 1986 Sahitya Academy Award for English for her novel, Rich Like Us. This novel is actually a historical fiction which is set between 1932 and the mid 1970s, as it is written in the question here, during the time of emergency in India. Okay. And it uses the technique of flashback narrative, and it has two narrators. The first is the omniscient narrator who knows everything, and the second is the protagonist called Sonali. With this, let me tell you the main characters of the novel Rich Like Us. And please listen to me carefully because I will tell you a little bit about the story as well. Okay, it will be good. The first character of Rich Like Us is Rose. Born and raised in London, she met Ram at a chocolate shop and instantly fell in love with him. Okay. And he told her that India is an island of love. And she, in fact, got a postcard of the Greek island of Cythera. She left everything in London behind, came to India just to know that Ram was already married to another girl called Mona. She suffers here because of the patriarchal culture. She's not able to adjust. She herself is quick witted, quite intelligent. She confesses her problems to her friend Sonali. Okay. But then she does realize her rights as a woman and as a wife late in the novel. Right. But in the end, she faces misfortune and she's dead. Now, the second protagonist of the play is Sonali, a highly educated Indian, young civil servant of India who studied at Oxford. While at Oxford, she met somebody called Ravi, whom she started loving. And Ravi and she had a long communication over communism. And Ravi favors communism, Sonali does not. They part after their ways, they part their ways after their days at Oxford, but later in the novel, they do meet. Now, a little bit about Sonali's father. He was a shopkeeper who was jailed without any reason during the emergency in India. And when he dies, Sonali goes through his manuscripts, his old manuscripts, through which she comes to know about her family history and Indian history. Now, for example, she came to know through her father's manuscripts that her great grandmother was a sati. She became a sati. She died because of this custom. In fact, her great grandfather actually protested against sati. But then look at the irony. The husband protested and the wife had to become sati. Oh God. So this is the second character, Sonali. Let's go to the third main character of the play, and it is Ram. As I told you, Ram, he is husband to Mona and husband to Rose. He is an Indian, but he is European in taste. And in fact, he even had an affair with Marcella, with whom he shared a very intellectual relationship. Now, somewhere in the novel, he gets critically ill, and then he's actually, not too much discussed, right? Rose takes care of him. Rose loves him deeply, but then it's a very complicated relationship. Now, the fourth character of the play is Mona. As I told you, Ram's first wife, and both of them have a son together called Dev. They live in the same house as Rose, just on different floors. In the novel, Mona is compared to Sita because of her suffering as a woman, as a wife. The next character is Dev. Dev is Ram and Mona's spoiled son. He hates Rose, his stepmother, and he says that this lady has no place in our house. Okay, he does not like to work much. He forfeits, makes false checks to cheat his father, and his wife's name is Nishi, who is again from an influential family background. Okay, now let me tell you, where does this novel, Rich Like Us, get its title from? It gets its title from the words of a businessman called Mr. Newman, whom Dev and Nishi meet at the start of the play. And in the words of Mr. Newman, he says, if the poor of India would do like us, they will be rich like us. And that is how the novel Rich Like Us goes on. Okay, good enough? Can we move on to the last question of the day? Very easy. I made it easy. Pulitzer Prize is awarded by, your options are A, Great Britain, B, United States, C, United Nations, or D, Swedish Academy. You got it. Pulitzer Prize is awarded by United States. Well, established in the year 1917, the Pulitzer Prize is an annual award which is awarded in 21 categories, including literature, music, newspaper, journalism, etc., etc. It is named after Joseph Pulitzer, a Hungarian born American politician and a newspaper publisher. Now, why is Joseph Pulitzer famous? He is known for fighting against corruption in America and also for helping to keep the Statue of Liberty in New York, right? And remember, I told you in one of my lectures lately that in the year 2022, the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction was awarded to, tell me if you remember. Well, it was awarded to Joshua Cohen for his novel, The Netanyahu's. And we are done. Yahoo! Thanks for watching. As I told you, to get your own book of MCQ with answers and explanations, what, when, why, how is the name of the book, you can contact Tess on the number 93878 This is Heena from Team Test, and it was lovely being with you. I'll see you again tomorrow with another 5 question answers. This is so much fun, learning and teaching, teaching and learning. I hope the same is going on with you.